Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Maria and this is a tarot story for you if you have a Taurus anywhere in your chart, or if you're a cross watcher, or actually something else could have drawn you here. Maybe you were guided to click on this reading. If it resonates, if it rings true, then it's for you. So I'm trying out a sort of a new format. I'm making the readings a little shorter. And hopefully still, with the same amount of depth and great messages. We'll see. Let me know what you think. Your reading starts with the All That Glitters card, showing me that you've reached a big goal recently. You've sort of come to a big achievement point, or maybe you got some accolades for something that you've been doing for a while, or something came through. You acquired a big amount of wealth, maybe an inheritance, something like that. And it's given you a lot of comfort and security to know that you've reached this point in life. And it's been changing something about you, because there's these masks lying here on this abundance, telling me that you've been sort of changing a little bit your identity, which you would probably have had to, because if a big shift has been happening in your life, in any kind of abundance in your life, then of course that would require also sort of a shift, or a or what's that expression in English, when the caterpillar sort of crawls out of its skin because it's becoming bigger, right? And that has been happening to you, and so probably maybe something other is kind of awakening, maybe a more spiritual, philosophic, or emotional part of you is awakening, and is starting to ask questions about why it is not experiencing the same amount of abundance. So some part of your life feels, compared to this other part, quite barren, and like it doesn't really have movement, it doesn't have momentum, it's not gaining the same amount of traction, or it's not really blooming. So this is called regeneration, and it does have this energy about it, like it's sort of barren. So some part of your life that's not moving, it could be possibly love and connection, or I think probably something emotional, but you'll probably know as the reading moves along. But what it is saying is that, okay, yes, it does look barren, it has been for a while, but there is actually a flowering going on. It's very subtle, but it has begun moving. Spring is actually on the move, it is coming. But it is slow moving. If you look down here, it's sort of this part of it looks like magna. So, I mean, that's a very, very powerful energy, but incredibly slow moving. So there is movement, it's just slow, and also it looks like you've had your eye on the prize. You've been actually invested mostly in something else, so that's also why this hasn't really been flowering, because actually your attention has been going to this. So this card comes out, it's called Perspective. These cards are in Danish, and it has a message about you maybe shifting focus, or being invited to shift perspective, because you've been focused on this wealth or abundance, and then this other part of your life has been sort of suffering a little bit under you having your focus everywhere else but this. And so you're being asked to shift your perspective, and it seems like it's really the right time, because you have amassed a lot of wisdom and insight. So it's a good time for you to sort of start shifting that into another area of your life. And also I think that a part of you is in full understanding of the fact that things are actually unfolding as they should. It's just that some part of your life has been needing to be fixed sort of first, or reach a good sort of stable point first before you could actually really look at this. So in some part of your psyche, you are aware that things are playing out exactly as they should. But then on the other hand, this comes out as release the fight. You are sort of a little irritated of the pacing of this and how it's working out, and maybe you were hoping that focusing on this wouldn't necessarily bring in love and connection or that other thing that has been sort of neglected, but it didn't. So in one part of you, you do understand the fact that things are unfolding as they should, and it needed to be like this. And in the other part of you, you're a little irritated that it's unfolding like this, and you're sort of in a little bit of a fight with your higher self or your guides or the universe about why your situation is as it is. And then this card comes out. It's called spirituality, and it is inviting you to pray, to show up for prayer. And it looks like you are to a certain extent sort of aggravated, irritated, and at this whole process you have an inner dialogue that's going a little bit in each their direction, because you both have an understanding that everything is unfolding as it should, and then at the same time kind of irritated at it and would have wanted it to unfold differently or in another pace. But you're being invited to sort of get into the middle of these two and to reconnect with spirituality and prayer in a very heartfelt, open, humble way. Because it looks like some part of you has maybe lost a little bit of humility along the way, maybe because you reached a big goal and you were hoping that would be able to translate into another part of your life quite easily, but that's not exactly how it's unfolding. And these two cards come out, the innocence and the miser, and it's like there was really supposed to be a meeting between these two, but they're looking each their way. So this has a message of you sort of being defensive, and this could be just because you're aggravated about the way it has been unfolding. But it also looks like there are sort of some treasures that you're holding on to, maybe these treasures, not really willing to release any of them, or having a fear that if you do, you'll kind of lose everything. So these treasures could also be sort of your heart, or your openness to this maybe other person or other energy that is coming in. That could also possibly maybe be a little older than you had imagined. I mean, that's a part of this story also possibly for some of you. And so it's making you a little like, oh yeah, I don't know, I wasn't really ready for that. But the cards are saying you need to get your energy flowing again. You need to move from this sort of miserly energy in some part of your life, maybe just because of having been disappointed that this has not been moving for a while, and to shake it up, to bring some youthful energy into that part of your life or into that part of your psyche, possibly through creativity. And to get it moving back into a sort of a lightness and a spring energy, because this will move when you get the spring energy into it. And also then it's bringing you into love and connection, into the lovers. So this reading is really asking you to find lightness, let go of this sort of defensiveness or maybe spite, or it could have been a little bit of a bitterness that sort of has been following with this not having bloomed yet. Remember your perspective, that things have actually been unfolding as they were meant to. And then find the lightness of being and sort of the flowy creativity, joyful happiness, because it will bring you to this love energy. And the advice that it comes with, how to bring this about, is through boundaries. Set boundaries. Maybe if this is somebody else who came in towards them, just set healthy boundaries, because when your boundaries are healthy, you don't need to be defensive anymore. Then you can be free flowing. So just be very clear about your boundaries, and then this lightness can come in, and the whole thing can start blooming. So I hope that made sense to you, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for being here, Taurus. If you did enjoy it, leave me a thumbs up, a subscription, and a comment. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye.